Do property tax liens show up on a credit report? That's a great question. In this video, we're going to dive into all that. We're also going to show you how doing tax lien certificates is a socially responsible investment. I'm going to show you exactly how there is a triple win. Win, win, win. You, the county, and actually even the property owner is going to win in this situation. All that we're going to dig into this video. First, you know what you need to do. Hit the like, subscribe. More importantly, type out any questions you have. I am the one that answers them for you. Thank you very much for showing up here. Let's get right into it. So when somebody doesn't pay their property taxes, is it possible for that to show up on their credit report? Very unlikely. Okay, so I want to talk about this. This is very important. This video is very important because if you don't understand this, I don't think you're going to go at this with the gusto that's necessary. There's two factors that I want to talk about here. First of all, the benefits of tax lien certificates for everybody involved. I'm sure by now, if you've talked to somebody about investing in tax lien certificates, probably one of the first things they come up is, oh, you're just taking somebody's house. Nothing could be further from the truth. Okay, a property has to be delinquent at least 1 year before a lien can be sold on that. Okay, and that doesn't mean they're losing their property. The only way somebody can lose a property to delinquent property taxes is they have to be delinquent a minimum of 4 years. And they are giving ample time during that 4-year process. And here's the great thing about it. It's not affecting their credit. Okay, the county doesn't come after them and say, hey, you haven't been paying your property tax, so we're going to ding your credit on that. It's just between you and the county. And in fact, if you go all the way back to 1991, Donald Trump and the Taj Mahal had tax lien certificates against us because he knew, hey, it's easier not to pay them because we don't have any money. They're on the verge of bankruptcy. And then when we do get some capital, we'll go ahead and pay that. He actually told his friends, go buy the tax liens. You're going to earn 18% because I got to pay the money anyways. Or if the property sells, it comes from there. Okay, it didn't affect his credit worthiness in that situation, just as it wouldn't affect somebody else. But I also want you to think about the social responsibility. When I'm buying a tax lien certificate, what am I doing for the property owner? Okay, you're buying them what? Time. Because I want you to think about this. If the county didn't have the legal opportunity to bring those up to the public, you and me out there, what would their first reaction would be? It'd have to be to foreclose on the property. Legally, they'd have to foreclose on the property. There wouldn't be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, none of that because that option isn't there. The first reaction would be to start foreclosure, and in a foreclosure with the county, it is completely different than anything else. That can happen in 1 week, and in 72 hours, the sheriff's there to kick everybody out. So you're doing the property owner. By you and I putting up the money to the county, you're buying the property owner what? Time. Even if it goes to the redemption period and they still have not redeemed on the property, you can give them more options. I say, hey, listen, I'm going to start foreclosure on this property. Here's some notifications. What can we do in this situation? Even if you take back the property in foreclosure and they didn't meet that, you can still communicate with them later and go, look, I'm willing to sell you back the property for just what I have in it plus the interest rate. How can we work this out? I have done this before. I've helped students before. You can't do that with the county. The county's legally hands are tied. They'd have to foreclose. So the property owner is winning. That's win number one. Let's talk about the county. The county's winning. They need the much needed taxes. So number one property taxes are going for is the school. So 65% of all property taxes go towards the education system. Okay, then you've got roads, bridges, fire departments, police departments, et cetera, et cetera. If you have ever traveled outside the United States and stop signs are optional and pit holes are divots in the road are big enough to eat your car up, you probably know their tax system isn't very good. Here's a really good example. Some of you have been in New York. You're driving in New York City, you go across the Washington Bridge in New Jersey, and it's like, you know, everything's beautiful. The tax system in New York and New Jersey are completely different, the property tax system. Okay, taxes in New Jersey are a lot higher. They're a lot more aggressive with it. But you've got, I mean, literally, I think they hire birds to chirp over there. I mean, it's a completely different experience over there. That's a perfect case study of how property taxes benefit the community as a whole. So the county's got this thing where they go, okay, look, we get most of our taxes collected, but we still need that short amount. So by law, we have to bring these up to sale, okay, individually and allow the public to come in and give us the money to do it so we can continue to operate as a county. So the county's winning it. You and I are winning on this too, because listen to this. Okay, I don't have to compete with anybody, the big boys out there. Every single tax lien certificate has to be sold individually. There are some outliers out there. 99% of them have to come up individually. So you've got the, State Street, Vanguard State Street, they can't come in there and say, I want to buy $20 million with lien and earn the 18% and push you and I out of the way. No, the rules are very clear. They have to go up individually. And most of them don't have the patience for that because every single county is a little different and they just don't have the manpower to make it viable for them. So you and I are protected, so we always have these. And again, whenever you're getting involved in an industry, you want to look at what the disruptor is. I mean, in 2012, if you bought a Crown Victoria in New York City, painted it yellow, and paid $1.5 million for a medallion that goes on the front to allows you to be a cab driver, who would have thought that Uber would have been coming along 36 months later to wipe that industry completely out? Anytime you're looking at a business, you want to look at what is the disruptor? What can change in this industry that's going to make me irrelevant? Palm Pilot. Okay, so some of those things you need to look at. With tax lien certificates, they've been available for over 300 years. So the county's winning, the property owner's winning, you and I win because we get a substantial interest on the property that we couldn't have gone other places. We don't have to be a guru of the markets, and all of those things win. So this is what we call the triple win all the way around. The other beautiful thing about this is how you do the investments. This is not a full-time experience. If you're spending more than 6 to 8 hours a week doing tax lien certificates, you are a full-time person. I've seen so many of my students that spend a very fraction of their time on this and making good six figures on it. So there's the time factor that you've got it. There's so many opportunities out there for you. And again, remember, you're helping the hot property owner, you're helping the county, and you're helping your family out. That's that triple win all the way around. Now let's look at the community as a whole. I love the lower end niche. There's so much money involved in that. For instance, at the time of this recording, I just bought a property. I paid $11,000 for it, and I turned around and sold it to a wholesaler for $35,000. That's not a ton of money, but you know what that wholesaler's doing with the property already? They're fixing the property up. This property had been vacant for 11 years. I know the neighbors because I went out and met them. They're like, thank you for buying this property. We cleaned the property up. We secured the property. We sold the property. Now they're going to be going ahead and rehabbing it. Another property that's perfect in this community, but it was the one in the property on the block that wasn't doing anything. Went in there, bought it for $30,000. We put $70,000 in rehab. Property's worth $250,000. We've got renters in there. Everybody's happy. So the community wins as a whole. Plus you've got properties that are paying taxes on this. Listen, the counties can't just automatically start printing money. It doesn't work that way. Their budget is so predictable because it's based on property taxes. They know down to the penny how much money is coming in every single year. This is why I've said in other videos, the county government is the most pure form of democratic deal because they can't print a bunch of money. They're restricted by their budget. And there you go. This is why you see those ups and downs with the counties in California. Because of Prop 13 restricts on how much the taxes are, that restricts on how much money, so you get these bust and booms going over there. It affects their property taxes. Anytime you travel around the world, you can tell immediately what type of a property tax system they have based on just the infrastructure as a whole. I mean, it's amazing what happens. And I don't want to get into the history on this, but if you're looking at anything that England colonized, you're looking at unbelievable tax system with it. It's very structured, just like it here is in the United States. And like I said, everybody wins all the way around. Now I want to show you how to profit from this. I've got a brand new video taking it from beginning to tax lien certificates to money in your pocket in the next 90 days. I just put this thing together. You're going to love it. Go to higginsmethod.com. And when you watch that video, I'll also send you out a complimentary book, America's Secret Investment Strategy. You're going to absolutely love this book. God bless, good luck, and be careful out there.